Hello Cancer, Cancer Rising, and Cancer Moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for the month of October 2017. And a quick reminder for all of you out there, remember, I never put anything in these horoscopes that only lasts for one day. And so, these are meant to be talking about big shifts and big sweeping influences throughout the duration of the month. And at the very least, there may be some aspects that go on or some energies that last for about 2 weeks. But that's the smallest amount of time that energy is going to be, any energy I'm going to be talking about in these videos for the monthlies is talking about. Because some people just kind of wait for the day, and if it comes and goes, they're missing out on the whole window. If you are interested in more short-term aspects, please check out your weekly astrology horoscope, your weekly horoscopes, excuse me. The first half is exclusively astrology, so even if you only prefer astrology, there is something in it for everybody. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with your astrology this month anyway? Well, we've got some leftover energies. We've got Mercury, planet of communication, haste, and speed, in Libra, in your 4th house of home and family, pretty much all the way until the 17th of the month, when he moves on. And with Mercury in the 4th house of home and family, we are still working with a fast window for any kind of move, any kind of relocation plans you've been making. With Mercury in the 4th house, if we're trying to maybe, again, move house, sign a lease, or get something taken care of as far as household or property, maintenance or paperwork is concerned, this is the time to really, focus that energy on getting as much done as possible, because Mercury makes things go all the more quickly there. This can also be good for creating or opening up lines of communications when it comes to family members that we may have, become estranged from. Things are a little bit distant, we haven't heard from them in a while. The doors are going to be open up during that time, and there may even be some opportunity to reunite with family members while they are on their travels during this, this first couple of weeks. You may find out somebody's in town for a day or two, and it'd be a nice opportunity for a bit of a reunion there. We've also got Mars and Venus in Virgo, in your 3rd house of communications, pacts, and promises, pretty much for the first 2 weeks at least. We've got Venus in there for the first 2 weeks of the month, and then we got Mars there for the first 3 weeks of the month. Now, when Venus is in our 3rd house of communications, pacts, and promises, again, we see this focus on moving things faster or moving things forward, but in this case, it's people actually renegotiating according to your terms, anything that needs to be amended here. When we have Venus in our 3rd house, we are given the gift of gab, influence, and the silver tongue. So if we have been trying to make some kind of appeal to a rule, we're trying to ask for a special kind of treatment or a special kind of favor, or we're trying to reword or renegotiate the terms of a promise or a pact or a commitment that we are already engaged in, to be better suited to our present, whether it's just an arrangement we have, maybe it's a contract we have with work, it's an arrangement we have with a service we're paying for, it's an arrangement we have with maybe somebody we share custody with, things along those lines. This is the week where we can really actually start to hash those things out and do some tweaking there that we need. Mars in that area, however, you need to be careful, because with Mars in the 3rd house, sometimes we think we're being assertive when we're being way too aggressive, and that can be a thing. The nice thing about Mars in the 3rd house, though, is that people are coming to your assistance. Mars talks about, the 3rd house also talks about helpful people, the neighborhood, close friends and siblings and things like that. And when Mars is in this area, we have backup, whether it's, a second in command, a sidekick, the cavalry coming in. So this is also going to be a time where a lot of you are seeing that a lot of people who are backing you up, going out and taking things on for you, volunteering their services and their energies to you, you may actually want to take a chance and let them do it their way. Because, usually with Mars in the 3rd house, it's better to, again, leave it in their hands. They're trying to show you their loyalty. They're trying to show you their love. They're trying to show you their support. So that's going to help bring that all together there. And so we have a lot of activity going on, a lot of the Cancerian sort of army, rushing out there, and doing its campaign the way it will. Now, on the 5th of the month, we've got a full moon in Aries, in your 10th house of career. And a lot of you Cancerian people may be deciding it's time to just, move on. Usually when we get a full moon in either houses 10 or 2, people may actually put in their 2 weeks. People may actually find something better or move on to something better because they've already had it in mind. A full moon in the 10th house, you know, between the 5th and the 19th, some of you may be finding an opportunity to move on in a way because you are incentivized to do so, whether it's because somebody's offering you a job, or maybe we're not leaving our employer, but we're leaving the position that we work for our employer in. This could be some kind of internal transfer, some kind of promotion, something that somebody's actually handing off to you. But no matter how it happens, it's still a culminating event, punctuating the way you have come to relate to this company or the way you are doing your business, even if you own your own. On the 10th of the month, we've got Jupiter, planet of wealth, riches, expansion, and also fun and pleasure, you know, and all the joyfulness and all that good stuff, moving away from Libra, your 4th house of home and family, and moving into Scorpio, your 5th house of love, romance, pleasure, and your relationships with your kids. And Jupiter will be here in October, you know, October 10th, for a year and some change. So it's a big move. I'm probably going to talk about it in a special video here pretty soon, probably a car vlog. And with Jupiter in Scorpio for the next year, one of the things I will talk about, this is an excellent time for those of you who are hoping to conceive, those of you who are planning or trying to have kids. Jupiter in the 5th or connected to the 5th house ruler, I found when I'm doing astrology charts for people, often will, you know, produce a successful pregnancy if that's what people are trying to do. If you're not trying to, just err on the side of caution. However, it's still good news for, you know, for everybody who's looking for that. This can also be a wonderful time for expanding an opportunity for, you know, again, finding new love. Though I will say with Jupiter in the 5th house of love and romance, if you're single and looking, Jupiter does bring an energy of the more the merrier. You're going to be very, very popular. Especially in the first 3 months of his move through this. So you may be noticing a lot of options. You may be casually dating somebody now, not sure if you're going to get into a relationship with them, and then all of a sudden more people show up, kind of complicating things. It's all in the interest of fun. However, you want to make sure that, again, you don't play the field for way too long. When we think about the mythology of, you know, of Zeus and Jupiter, we don't want to play the field for way too long. But at the same time, more options are coming to you. For established couples, this can be wonderful because we're kind of bringing more of a childlike energy to the relationship. We're bringing a bit more innocence, a bit more fun, a bit more recreation, and a bit more adrenaline throughout the next year. So be careful not to break the bank indulging this, but indulge it and have fun nonetheless. For a full year and some change. On the 14th of the month, we've got Venus, planet of harmony and affection and all of that good stuff, favor, moving into your 4th house of home and family, Libra, where she will be for the duration of the month. And a lot of you Cancerian people have an opportunity to enjoy a bit of peace returning to the home front. If things have been getting tense, maybe we've been having a hard time with relatives, we've been hard time with roommates, things have, you know, not been going so well, or we just wish things could be better, because they can always be a little bit better. Nothing's ever perfect. Venus is allowing us to actually go through and, you know, try that out, you know, start smoothing over some bumps or some cracks in an existing family or roommate type of relationship. Venus in the 4th house can also be very, very beneficial for people who are selling a home. You're thinking about putting your home on the market. If you're trying to maybe even sell some property or even some, you know, an investment or an asset that you have, Venus tends to work on behalf of the seller during this time, and you will find that between the 14th of this month, even going into November, even though it's a little unseasonable for it, you know, in certain places in the northern hemisphere, you may actually find some better luck, so that may be something you want to consider. On the 17th, we do have Mercury leaving Libra and moving into Scorpio, that 5th house of love and romance, relationships with your kids, and when we have Mercury in the 5th house, things tend to develop very quickly. We may be seeing an existing dating scenario or an existing relationship starting to pick up the pace in terms of its development. Be careful about going too fast. You know, sometimes we think faster means, you know, better. Not always. Sometimes faster can be a little bit, insecure. And so we want to make sure that we are not doing something unsecured if with something that we want to last the test of time. However, with Mercury in the 5th house of love and romance, we have more dialogues opening up, people actually sharing more heart-to-hearts. And you may even have a partner or even a child of yours starting to reveal things that they have been keeping, that they don't share with anybody. This is like the bottom, back corner of the deep, dark closet, things that they do need to share, that need to come out, and an opportunity to bond and connect over that as well. Because again, it's an opportunity to get some information that will bring you closer together. It's that vulnerability between the two of you from the 17th on to the end of the month that's really going to be making a lot of stronger ties in these relationships. On the 19th of the month, we do have a new moon in Libra, in that 4th house of home and family, and again, wonderful time for any Libras looking to actually, jump ship. Maybe you're not looking to sell a place, but you're looking to rent a place, you're looking to find a new place to live, find a new roommate, rent a room, whatever you're trying to do. That new moon is excellent for it. Between the 19th, and the following 2 weeks, a lot of you are going to be finding out that, again, with Venus being in there, finding that or drawing that opportunity to yourself is going to be all the more easy. And on the 22nd of the month, just 3 days later, we've got Mars going into the 4th house of home and family, giving a little bit more support to the buyers. Alright, the people who are looking to buy a home, the people who are looking to invest in a property, invest in a space. So everyone in that whole moving venture gets a piece of it this month. And Mars will be there for like this and all of November, so you'll be good to go. And with Mars in there, along with that new moon, a lot of you are going to be doing a bit of a shuffle in the household. Even if you're not physically moving home, we could be, renovating, or this would be a great time. Some of you may be thinking about renovating, doing some serious updates, maybe redecorating, just changing your home sanctuary into a home sanctuary that is a little bit more updated to the person that is you, and again, creating more of a comfortable sanctuary for yourself. But also be careful with Mars in the 4th house of home and family. It can get a little bit tense because sometimes it can also bring up some arguments. We've got Venus there bringing good stuff in, but with Mars there can also be a couple of arguments and things, old issues, old fights that need to come out with relatives could be happening at the end of this month and beginning of November, just in time for Thanksgiving here in the US. But also pay attention. With Mars and Venus, once again in the same time, this could also be a great time for those of you who want to have so-and-so meet the folks, if you think you're ready for that. Finally, at the end of the month, we do have the Sun moving into Scorpio, into that 5th house of, again, love and romance and pleasure and relationships with your kids, from the 23rd of this month going into the 3rd week of November. And we're shining a spotlight on how do we get more out of these relationships. And we're talking more out of it. We're not trying to squeeze more energy out of it, like we're trying to wring out a sponge. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get more out of, again, the quality time that we have together. How productive is this relationship? When we say productive, it doesn't have to be like making money or something, but it's got to be making memories. It's not a productive relationship just to be kind of just sitting and staring at the wall. And the same can go for relationships with children, or relationship with your parents, with you being the child in that situation. There's a lot of healing and a lot of bonding going on at the end of this month, even if some walls got to come down. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it, Cancer. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.